Hey, good morning and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I am your party artist here. My name's Kim Overholt. I'm here to help you have fun, and it's Wellness Wednesday, so all things that are good and fun in the world are happening here today. I know it's rainy and miserable in the Niagara area, but I'm here to help you have a little bit of fun. And I hope you're enjoying your day. We're just gonna dig with a little bit of reggae that makes us think about that sunshine and that good feeling you get when you're in the sun. Sunny ways, my friend, sunny ways. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in to Kim Overholt's studio, Overholt Art and Entertainment Studio. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, check out my website, kimoverholt.com. And I'm just trying to straighten them. You know what is my hair? It's my hat. It's got to do, it's something in my head. Yes, it's something in my brains. And I know with Wellness Wednesday, we not only think about the body, but we think about the mind as well. We think about how we are all very creative and all very much fun. In our own minds, which I know I enjoy doing. Yeah, I enjoy bringing out joy in people as well. We speak clown. Yeah, I tell people that because it just like it makes more sense. Like, why is she so strange? Oh yeah, that's right. She used to be a clown. That's right. Yeah, it makes perfect sense now. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay, so welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I want to talk about a few things about with you today. Some of the things I have in mind are, let me see. We'll talk about self-care routines, mental health journeys, healthy habits, mindful practices, personal growth stories, and some wellness product reviews if I've tried anything lately, and Q&As. Um, Wellness routines for creatives like ourselves. Of course, we all have our own little ways of doing things and making us ourselves feel good. I think I love dressing up, especially when I can get in front of you guys and say good morning, and I'm hoping you feel good, and I hope see how beautiful clothes can make a beautiful person. Whatever, and it's not all just about the clothes. It's about the attitude and it's about the fun that you have while you're being you. It's important, you got a persona to put out there in front of people as well, and some inspirational stories I got for you today. Okay, so let's start back from the top. First thing we're going to talk about is self-care routines. Okay, so earlier, oh, well, actually yesterday, yesterday yesterday was so bright and warm and hot, and I walked to work. Actually, walked to work yesterday. It was beautiful. Today I woke up this morning going, why did I do that? Oh my gosh. There's the things that they don't tell you about when you get old. It's like, okay, you feel great that day, but the next day you're going to feel like shit. It happens. But you know what? As you get going again, you'll those aches and pains will kind of diminish and get less and less as you go. I'm hoping. Anyways, and then I wake up to rain and thunderstorms and lightning. But I always say, up in the sky, the sun's still shining down on us, and that's a beautiful thing. That to know that there's always something out there that's trying to be positive for you, even on the days that you're not at your most positive, right? Wellness Wednesdays, you're right in the middle of the week, getting right over that hump. And when you thought things were going bad, something like a spark hits you, and it's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden you're feeling great. And that's it can be anything. It could be wearing something nice. It could be getting a brand new pair of shoes. It could be something as nice as coming up with an idea for Luna Sparkles or something, that kind of thing where it kind of goes, yeah, you know what? It might be crappy out there, but I'm feeling good. My motto for life is what you make it. And it's been an interesting, oh my gosh, interesting 54 years. Let me tell you, my life has not been boring ever since I was a baby. So there's so many things that happened in the course of my youth and young adulthood that there's like, wow, if I could write a book. I have written a book. It's called The Plight of Time. It's on Kindle if you want to read it. It's a short story, and it's a good story, and I like the story in my mind. I'm just so glad that nobody's really picked up on it because it's really, really cool. Because every time that this it's the plot of the movie as plot of the book. I have the movie in my mind. The plot of the book is basically a boy finds a magic book at the library that was actually meant for him to find in a strange kind of way, because it's almost like, if you believe in fates and stuff like that, there's certain things that are people are fated to become, and stuff like that. So this boy finds a book, and it takes him into wild and wonderful journeys. And you know what, books alone can take you into wonderful and wild journeys. I have, if you can see back there, I have like a little plethora in the back there. I also have a library over on the side over here of all kinds of books for doing art. You know what, more research, when you research something and you delve into something that you enjoy, you get all the facets of all kinds of ideas, and that's, it applies to art as well. So you know, having books, so he finds all these book, he finds this magic, one magic book, and all that's all it takes is one magic book, just like it takes one magic paintbrush, right? And so he finds this magic book, and it takes him to different worlds. It's like a star map. It's like one of those portals. It's one of those things, like if like when Harry Potter came out, I'm like, ah, crap, there's going to be somebody that's got something that, you know, she's picking up on it, right? It's almost a very magical kind of thing, the story itself, and there's more to it. So that, I mean, the continuation of it is that every time he jumps into the story, he's always still the same age as he progresses through time with the book. You know, as he gets older, maybe the book will be passed down to like his grandson, or you know, that kind of thing, so that they can continue that kind of thing. And then it'll be like the wonder never ceases, right? And it's almost like time can stop at that one point where he goes into other worlds. When he comes back, he's still the same age. So every time that he wants to go exploring again, he doesn't have to stay in this world. He can go to whatever world that he chooses, because he has the map to take him there, which is great. Can you imagine, as long as you knew that you weren't going to be any harm, or b, there wasn't any serious consequences because of it, like, or you know, they say, you know, you move into the future, or you step on a butterfly and something weird happens in the present time, that kind of thing. Well, yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm kind of was delving into and stuff like that. So yeah, and yeah, it's a great story, and I always enjoy doing it. Like, I've always enjoyed making stories, and I have many more stories that I've got in this little noggin of mine, which, you know, I love talking about. If you watched any of my previous, which I don't know, I don't blame you if you don't want to. I don't blame you, because, you know, I am a bit long-winded, and it takes you a while to find the right spot where I talk about it. But you know, I do talk about, you know, there's all kinds of different stories that I have going right now, and it's all like, well, of course, got Luna Sparkles going on right now for a good idea for a kids cartoon. I think she's great with her magic paintbrush. It's almost like a girly anime, Bugs Bunny kind of routine. I'm thinking it's going to be cool, the coolest thing ever. I mean, what kind of things could she come up with? There's all kinds of great ideas. So, all right, and okay, so next thing I want to talk about is mental health journeys. Yeah, so we all have different experiences with anxiety, depression, and other mental struggles that happen through the course of your life. I was just talking about it the other day to my husband. Um, there's always been times where we kind of have those moments where it's almost like we're at that snapping point. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever felt that snapping point or come close to it, but yeah, there have been times where, like, I'm sure there's one time in college, and you know, when it's usually at that point where you know that you don't have any other options. And I think that was at the time where I had no other option but to be able to have to come home, because um, money wise, what was it, in 89, 88, that those years. And back then there was a lot. If you think about how '08, like you think of 2008, there was a lot of stuff going on that time too. Now take it back another 20 years, and there was that same kind of friction going on at that time too. So it was like hard to find a job, tough to get around to do stuff as I am today. I do everything by busing it. So I mean, the my options kind of get lowered when I start thinking of I have to find something that's local, unless I want to commute, which will take, if I want to start early in the morning, I could get to my job by at least maybe 10, 11, and then have to make the train back home to be able to make it home for going back to sleep. And what kind of a life is that? Yeah, I mean, in between, if you didn't have some kind of relationship or something, you'd want to make sure maybe you could handle that kind of thing for a little while. But I imagine finding something local and finding something a little bit more down to your level is more what you want to be doing anyway. So things like that. Okay, so we all have those journeys that we go on and yeah, that was one time back in '88 where I think I had that's why I was 18 years old and I was frustrated. So, I think about the kids these days and what frustrations they must have to go through. The struggle's still the same, but the uh, the game's kind of changed a little bit, is if you will. There's a lot of things that they were forced into that I probably didn't have to worry about, and there's a lot of changes. I mean, there's more people in the market now, obviously, which makes it a little bit more difficult for people in an older age group to try and find a job in the field that they want to, because it's like, okay, it's still going to be a few years before they're into retirement, and we don't want to have to take care of them, give them any kind of pension. I don't want any kind of pension. What I want is just to find something that I enjoy doing. So this is why I do it for myself, because I know nobody can do it for me. I have to do it for myself. Like I say to you, I can only show you the door. It is you that has to walk through it. Yeah, we all have to go through our own journeys, and it's life. That's what life is. That's what life is. It's a journey, a mental health journey. Taking care of yourself is one of those best things that you can do, is take care of yourself with making yourself some healthy habits. Some healthy habits of doing is like make your bed in the morning. Fold up your clothes if you throw them on the floor like I do. I just take off my clothes at the end of the night and I just throw them on the floor. But afterwards, I make my bed and I pick up all my clothes. I fold them nicely. I either put them back in the drawer if they don't smell too bad, or I put them in the wash, or I hang them up so they don't get wrinkly. I want to make sure that at least if my stuff is put aside, I know that I can take care of it later. If it needs washing, blah blah blah, I can do all that kind of thing. So you have healthy habits that you do, the routines that you do, like I'm doing the dishes, cleaning the place, making everything nice. Healthy habits, make you feel good too, because you don't even look around and you say, "Oh, there's those cobwebs again. I haven't gotten to." Yeah, yesterday I managed to clean all the cobwebs, most of them anyways, out of the kitchen, and I that makes me feel really good. That at least when I'm sitting in the kitchen, I don't go, "Oh, look at that little cobweb just hanging there," or "Look at that trip there," or you know what I mean. It's already taken care of. I can sit there, drink my coffee, going, "Oh, my body hurts." Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's just my body that hurts. Everything else is awesome. Yeah, so healthy habits are good to have. Um, for sleep. Now, that's one of the things that I think everybody has a little bit of trouble with, is when it comes to sleeping. Even when you get older, um, you find that well, I find it takes me a little bit longer to kind of get to sleep. I roll around a little bit thinking about stuff, and a lot of things come to mind, and I got like, okay, I have to do a little bit of self hypnosis. When I used to be a magician's assistant with the hypnosis show too, it's all about self hypnosis. So it's all about trying to get yourself into that calm state where you can relax, and sometimes you can like have stuff going through your head. You can see all kinds of things, and it takes you off to dreamland, that kind of thing, or you end up just kind of like laying there, kind of looking at the ceiling and going, okay, well, if you're not sleeping, don't sleep. Get up, walk around, get yourself something to drink, make yourself comfortable in your body again. Lie back down, try again, lie and try again, lie back down again, try again, try again. Just keep trying. Yeah, so that's important too. Um, Mindfulness practices, yeah, and that's another thing that you have to be. not only like you keep good care of yourself, but you got to keep an eye on what you do around when you're by yourself, and what kind of things you say to yourself, like mental talk. When you're saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I was so stupid." Blah blah blah. That's where no negative talking, even to yourself. You have to kind of, if you're feeling down, the last thing you want to be doing is making yourself feel down about yourself. Now, I can complain about, I've been trying so hard all these years with my weight just fluctuating up and down like a roller coaster. I've maintained that 130-ish. You know what? And it's like I've always been at that one point where I'm not fat, but I'm not skinny. I'm just like a nice in between. I could work harder if I want to get more muscle, but when I get more muscle, I gain more weight, and then blah 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 blah. It's like da, 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 da. The good things about that is like, well, one thing, and I'm not eating bad. I'm not eating any processed food anymore. I'm eating more healthy snacks and more healthy foods. No more stuff that's poisonous to my body. Stuff that's only going to heal my body and make this 54-year-old look like a 26, 38-year-old something. I don't know. Where you have to guess how old I am rather than going, oh yeah, I can tell she looks like she's 54. She acts like a 54-year-old. I like to think that I don't. I like to think that I keep my youthfulness about me, and I try to kind of bring it to everybody too, because everybody, you have this age that you feel inside. And I remember because my mom used to say, I don't feel like and it's like, yeah, yeah, I can totally relate. I still feel like some days like I'm just stepping out of 16 again. It's like, wow, I've really come far and I've really done a lot of interesting things. I really can't complain, but a lot of people could, and a lot of people will. And, there's the point where you have to learn to just kind of, enjoy where you are, not what you were expecting, because like you see, life's a journey. It's not a destination. There's always ways. It's just like a way of just kind of getting to the idea of what might be the I say it's a whirlwind of getting to the real you. And it's true. Sometimes you think you're heading the right direction, and it's like, this isn't right for me. Sometimes you think you're like, this is what you want to do, but then you try something else and like, I think I like that better. And how can I get going better in that direction rather than this direction I was going in? It's like, an important thing is probably not to burn bridges, and not to like to think of other people, what they do for a living, as not so great. Because I mean, there'll be a point where you may have to have that job too, and you might think, okay, well, I used to kind of like, oh well, yeah, and now you're in that position. It's like, now how do you feel? It's kind of like that Bob Dylan thing. How does it feel? Like now you're at in that spot where he's kind of like, I'm at that age where it's like, okay, there's so many things good things that can happen, and so many things bad that can happen. I just hope I'm on the right path. And it's so hard to tell because all the signs seem right and you seem like you're heading in the right direction. And then bam, something comes up and just kind of knocks you for a loop. And now you're like in a different direction altogether. Now it's all a matter of getting back to the roots, right? Getting back to your main thing, getting back to making art, right? Being what you wanted to be. What I wanted to be, a storyteller. I love being an anime. I love doing animations, but I have to do them in my own way. And way I was shown, I guess, was not the way I wanted to go. Just like learning the ukulele. I started out learning how to play guitar, and I found that the guitar teacher wasn't teaching me the way I wanted to learn. And when I found the ukulele and found the ukulele teacher, I was like, this is awesome. This is the way I want to learn how to do stuff. And it actually worked for me. Now, you got to find what works for you. And I'm not telling you that I could be the way for you, but I mean, if you have any struggles or have any obstacles that you've been through, I can say that I've probably had something similar, been in the same boat. I mean, like I say, I've done a lot of soul searching and a lot of reckoning with a lot of things that I've done in my past, and tried to come to something that's kind of fun and exciting for everybody. Uh, arts from like face painting all the way to like doing some sculptures. There's all it runs the whole gamut, right? And it kind of makes it feel very good when you have some personal growth and yeah, when you have stories that you can tell people about how you've expanded and how you've progressed. Now I I could go on and say, I think I've done really well for myself. I've done okay. um there's so many other different things that I could say, but it's all about how much you want to achieve. I guess it's how much you want to take on, and how what levels you can handle. That's the other thing too. You have personal growth stories. You learn to overcome a lot of challenges along the way, and it leads to a lot of good. Like I- I'm still heading in my direction. And like I say, it's a whirlwind. There's so many things I haven't pinned down, but I hope that maybe one day, it'll come to where I enjoy it, maybe doing something like this on a one-on-one basis. It could happen again, I imagine. I do a lot of paint parties. That's my Niagara art parties that I do. Um, those have a lot to do with wellness as well, because you get a bunch of friends together and you all sit and chat as you're doing like a nice painting, thinking about life, and I kind of give you a little bit of insight into delving into which way your life is headed to with art, and if you enjoy that kind of thing, what you can do to be the next steps. I mean, being a freelance artist like myself, I call myself freelance because I run so many different, like I do so many different things. Like I can tell stories. I can do, do my art, like, um, painting, sculpture, 3D. I can do stuff that has to do with music. And you know what? Like I'm wearing many hats. I'm a woman who wears many hats, and I'm a master of nothing, nothing in particular. I was great at computers. I did my math is really, really excellent. I did great in accounts payable, receivable. I was reception doing payroll and uh, uh, all kinds of other things. Gosh, I can't even tell you all the different jobs I've had, and where it's gotten me. I'm still indecisive. I don't know where I want to land. The office was a good thing up until I thought about like not being in front of people. And I love being in front of people, but only in certain elements. I guess maybe that's, yeah, like doing my paint parties and stuff was fun. I did enjoy that. And showing off fashion. Let me show you what I'm wearing today, by the way, because I think when you, like you say, when you dress well, you feel good too. Now this is what I'm wearing today to my where I work today. Today I'm over at Zach's women's clothing store, and this is all Zach's clothing. Fashions by Zach's, by the way. Yeah, okay. Uh, there's a little bit of showing you some of the things that I use, some of the products that keep me happy. I don't use products like for any kind of drugs or anything to kind of make me feel good. I use natural drugs like endorphins, and style. When you feel good inside, when you look good, you feel good. Sometimes that works some way too, because you get like, oh, that looks nice. I like that. Yeah. So I like the way I look today. I feel great, and that helps sometimes too. When you're a creative person, sometimes that's the one thing you got to keep your appearances, because when you kind of let's say you're having a bad day. Let's say I give you a point. I give you a couple examples. Like when I work at my other job, where I'm just a cashier. People look at you differently. Excuse me. People look at you a little bit differently when you're a cashier, when you're really like more helping the public. They don't see you as anybody in particular, or anybody that's important in their lives. But when they see you, say in another, where you're being somebody who's giving them help or giving them words of advice, that kind of thing, they look at you differently. obviously. So um, I have a lot of times where I get looked at and I'm like, I what did I do? It's like I didn't do anything that was different or well, or not well. I just kind of I am who I am, and if you kind of look at me with that kind of attitude, I can look back at you with the same. How do you look when I look at you? Hmm. Does everyone look the way I do? I only look this way at you. Does everyone stare? Oh, yeah, that's the police song. Does everyone stare the way I do? I only look this way at you. That's right. I only look this way at you because we're like buddies like this, right? Like me and Brad Pitt. Except I'm over here. What is this? I know what a weirdo I am. It's been going on forever. I enjoy it. I have to be honest. I have to say, with the whole Brad Pitt thing, yes, I know. A lot of people are like, why do you keep on talking about him? I'm like, well, you know what? It started off as a kind of distraction for me back in the days when the C word started and I was supposed to be doing my art parties, and I had no one to kind of go in front of. So I was coming here live, like I do, and I was doing lifeless, some paintings and stuff like that. So live painting, blah 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 blah. And the one day I just ended up, I had this abstract painting, and I was like, okay, who does this look like? Who should I make in it? And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I did a Brad Pitt, and that Brad Pitt, this was around what 20, yeah, it might have been 20. He was still single back then. I wasn't stepping on anybody's toes, well, per se. But I kept on thinking that maybe if I did one, I'll just show it. Maybe he'll say, "Hey, that's a nice painting. Hey, thanks, Kim. I really appreciate that." Um, no, I mean I did hear from people, and I thought, "Oh, this is really him." And it's like then I realized there's more. There's so many more imposters out there. So many imposters out there. It's crazy. That's what I should do a whole thing on, and I really have to get my friend Jean into it because she'll tell you. I'm sure she's at the point now where she's had over 100 imposters of not just Brad Pitt but of Keanu Reeves, Chris Hemsworth. Oh, what's that other guy? Um, you know what? They're all out there. It's terrible. I even like I follow things that have the check mark, like everybody says to do, and that there are still people out there that when they contact me, I'm like not really sure if it's them or not. I got contacted once by somebody who said they were John Anderson because I did a finger painting of John Anderson too, and I put it out there, and I was talking to somebody who said that they were John Anderson up until the point where they said that they needed some money. I'm like, wait a minute, you need money from me for what? Like, I'm sorry, I'm a big fan. I bought your album. I really, I'm just, I can't. I'm an artist. All I can do is maybe do a drawing or something. I told them about the art that I did and blah 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 blah. You know. So there are way too many imposters out there, and it started off nice. I really actually am a big fan of Brad Pitt. I've liked him ever since Cool World. Well, even before that, and I tell all of his imposters. I liked Brad Pitt from the beginning, like when he started doing Growing Pains. I know it was kind of a little bit weird. I know that there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things about him that are very kind of um, can't put my finger on it, and that's what it is, and that's why I'm still kind of fascinated because he's got his hand in a lot of things that I'm kind of like wondering about, and I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I mean, I've got myself a husband. I've been married for over 30 years. I've got myself my own career. I'm doing the best that I can. I don't need anybody's help or money. I'm just kind of like, it just became like one of those things where you find out about, okay, these imposters were telling me that, about his kids. They were telling me about Angie, how bad his life was with her, and blah blah blah. You know what? I say, if things are bad, if there's something that you've done wrong, obviously it's going to reflect on you. If there's something that you've done right, obviously it's going to reflect on you as well. So whatever way it turns, only know that where it will be mostly seen is by your children, what your children will grow up and say about you. Because if you're not there for them, I like if you aren't there for them, that's I can't say how much importance it is to have roots. Having roots and having somebody to be there for you when you're young and unsure is very, very important. I got lucky. See, I had a stepmom that was there for me because, like I say, my dad passed away young. My mom had a stroke before I was born and couldn't take care of me like she should have. So I was kind of in a foster way. That was my stepmom, and she married my dad, and yeah, and she became the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm so grateful for her every day. And even though I don't call her all the time, she knows. I mean, she knows. She used to like do tons of things for me, and probably the best thing that ever happened in my life to make life where I'm not going to start tearing up about it because it's just so nice. Anyways, wellness routines and everything. What matters most to people is if you have a good if you have a good roots, if you have got good roots, you got a good start, and that's really important. Look at me, teary eyed thinking about it. Turned to Michael Landon. Oh my gosh. It's truth. It's truth. Yeah. And that's what comes down here at Overhold Art and Entertainment Studio here. Live. Yes, yes. Live tears. Oh my God. Okay. Everybody loves seeing live tears, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. So yeah. And Brad Pitt. Okay. So yeah. So roots are very important. Um, I think that I got lucky because at least I have something that I can refer to and say, good things come your way when you're looking for them. That's for sure. Very happy about it, for sure. And for all the people in my life that have helped mold me into who I am. And, we all do the best we can. We all do the best we can. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm getting teary about it. Oh my gosh. So sorry. Oh, forgive me. I get emotional when I think of Brad Pitt. No, it isn't Brad Pitt at all. But yeah, it is about having a solid foundation, having those questions answered for you when you're young, so you know. Very important. And putting you in the right direction, and that's the best thing too. So I mean, but again, my stepmom, she always say, "Get into business." So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm too artsy. I can't do that. I can't do the business. I was never into the business. I understand the business. I know the business. I don't like what's going on right now, of course, with the business. That's why I love art. And where the way things are going, they're going to crucify me anyway. So, I mean, just as John Lennon would say, they're going to crucify me. The way things are going, they're going to crucify me. Okay, so yeah. So, strong foundation is always a key. And, you grow from there. And it's important. And that's what I tell people. That's why, you if you feel something, if you feel passionate about something, do it. Do your art. Don't let anybody stop you from being who you're supposed to be. Like I say, it might be a whirlwind, but it's worth it at the end because you have all these stories. Yeah, I have all these stories. Oh man, the stories I could tell you. I got a story for you actually. It was funny because the other day, sorry, clear my tears away. The other day when I was working in the store, I was dressed up in I love Zach's fashions because they reminded of me of the old Le Chateau. Okay, I love their styles. Anyways, being able to afford them is beautiful, and their fashions are great. I love Zach's, but so this guy comes walking past the store. Okay, he walks past Zach's, and he sees me wearing the hat, but I'm just standing there. I think I might have just been looking out, but he came right up to me and he went, he's, and I said, "Is there something I could help you?" He's like, "I thought you were a mannequin." He says, "I'm sorry." He says, "I was looking at your hat." He says, "I really love your hat." He said, "I'd love to get one like that for my granddaughter." He's like, "Do you have one around here?" I said, "Yes, we do." I said, "I got this hat from here. Let me show you." The funny thing is like I surprised him, and it was funny because he's like, "Oh," and he kept on apologizing. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I know." And the Scottish accent, he's, I'm so sorry, I really thought that you were a mannequin when I walked up. I thought, oh, that's a nice looking. Oh my God. So he thought I was a mannequin. I'm like, wow, do I really look that good? Go, come on. But he got the hat for his granddaughter, and it's so pretty. Isn't it a cute little hat? I love this hat. As soon as I saw it, I was like, mine. There's some things that you in your life that as soon as you see it, it's like, that's mine. That's mine. That's what I meant to do. That's it. I got it. And there's some things that people are meant to do. Me, I'm a ham. I've always been a ham, and I always love, yeah, like talking in front of people about stupid things because this is the way I go. And yeah, so I love being able to share my stories of things that happen in my life. And it's, I do like lots of stories, lots of crazy stories. I could tell you some young stories, some very, very tumultuous stories of my youth. Perhaps I had a wicked childhood. Perhaps I had a miserable youth. But somewhere in my wicked and childish ways, I must have done something good. 'Cause there you are, standing there, loving me, whether or not you should. So somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Oh gosh. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing ever could. I try. And you know what? If you think you know a spot where oh, Kim, she'd be perfect for fit for this. Maybe a mental institution. Let me know in the comments below. I always and Wellness Wednesday, we run the gamut here. I like the highest highs, lowest lows. You can enjoy everything right here on my page. We do a little bit of everything here at Overholt Art and Entertainment Studio, Kim Overholt Arts Channel. I mess with my hat. I tell you about things that are coming up. Tomorrow is Entertainment Thursday, which I say I'm a ham. I'm going to play a few tunes and stuff like that. Probably we'll do a little more Luna Sparkles. In the background, I'm still working on Luna Sparkles. I'm still kind of coming up with character drawings and stuff. So I'm not stopping. Don't you ever stop either. I mean, we got to keep going. This is one thing in life. One thing that I was told by and because I used to be a custodial worker in a retirement home, and I asked the lady who was go go go. I said, "What's your secret?" She says, "Don't stop. Don't stop. Never stop." So, and this was after my mom had already passed away in 2004, and I was looking for that something, I guess, in 2006, and the words of advice were don't stop. And I try not to. I just try and keep going. Yeah, that poor lady stuck in that place. And I remember she taught me a little bit of German. Ich liebe dich. Liebst du mich? And you learn a little bit of life from everywhere that you go. I've always wanted to try and travel the world, but we get as far as we can with what we've got, and we kind of try to strive for those great stories that we can keep to ourselves and share one day with some people like yourselves. So yeah, it's tomorrow. So tomorrow is Entertainment Thursday, and then we have Feedback Friday, where you can talk to me now, or you can talk to me later, or you can talk to me next week, next Feedback Friday. But then we'll start the routine all over again with cartooning Mondays and Magic Tuesday and Wellness Wednesdays once again here at Overhold Art and Entertainment Studios. And like I say, my name's Kim Overholt. You're a party artist. I do art. Yeah, you can see some art around me. As you can see, there's I can't sell it, but there it is. And here's some of my art here too. This is oh, which way am I turning? Am I turning this way or that way? Okay, this way. This is one of the ones that I did with my cousins, which was really, really awesome. I really enjoyed doing that one too. It reminds me of Algonquin Park. You can make it simple or you can make it complex. As fun as you want to make it, it can be whatever you want it to be. Like art, like life, like everything. And thank you for tuning in for Wellness Wednesday. I hope you have a fantastic day. I am your party artist, Kim Overholt. Peace, oh brother, with a little bit added. And hey, Brad Pitt, I hope things work out for you. I hope things work out for me. Because, I'll never get there, but maybe I can talk about it. And maybe I might get there, with your help and your love and my love and your help and my help and your love and all that other great stuff. I don't know. All I got to say is if there's one thing that you got to know, is that life is beautiful, man. And I will come to see you again tomorrow if I can. And if not, I will come to see you the next day. And if not, I'll see you another time. And I hope to gosh that you have a fantastic day. And the Lord loves you. Okay. Now I really gotta go.